You're welcome back to the Gavel. The Senate organized a public hearing on the persistent clashes between herdsmen and farmers in the country. The hearing was packed full with people from different organizations, security agencies, traditional groups, and concerned Nigerians. There is no vacant seat in this hall, and those not lucky enough to get seats had to make do with standing to take part in this public hearing. This shows the importance attached to this public hearing by the Senate to investigate the persistent clashes between cattle herdsmen and farmers across the country. The mayhem caused by herdsmen in different communities across the country, leaving a long trail of death and destruction, is a problem which these lawmakers and concerned Nigerians are trying to resolve. The Minister of State Agriculture at this investigative hearing tries to correct what he says is a misconception on the issue.
From the available statistics, most of those who have been arrested, in some of these clashes between purported herdsmen and then farmers, do not speak any Nigerian language. They do not speak Fulani. They do not speak any Nigerian language, which clearly underscores the fact that it is a regional problem. And so, as the federal government, we want to make it very categorically clear that the problem between herdsmen and farmers is not a problem between Fulani people and farmers in any part of the country. The Fulani man, in our opinion, is a very peaceful man. So we believe that most of those who are involved in these clashes between herdsmen and farmers may not necessarily be Fulani people. There could be another gang of Boko Haram, who may not even be Nigerians. They could also be affiliated to, some other terrorist organizations outside, the shores of this country. So I want to, by word of introduction, make these points very clear that the problem is not between Fulani people and farmers, as it has been, clearly encapsulated in the chairman's address.
He made some recommendations which he hopes would address this problem.
Is it profitable to the Fulani herdsman as a tradition? Is it healthy and secure, for the herdsman? We believe that these are questions that, we have consulted widely, and also studied the literature that exists in the sector from the USA to Saudi Arabia, even to Sudan. And we have realized that the best way, to solve this problem will be the creation of ranches.
Representatives of some of the key stakeholders also offered their solution to the problem.
What the Honorable Minister has said about establishment of ranches, we are totally against establishment of grazing rights or enactment of a grazing bill into law that will take land from resident communities and give to other people who are practicing their businesses. We are in total support of helping the Fulani cattlemen or any other cattlemen or herdsmen to settle down somewhere so that their own children can also become senators like you and become presidents of this country.
We reject the creation of cattle routes. We recommend the rearing of cattle. In ranches in accordance to the worldwide best practices, and the creation of ranches should not be the business of government because it's a private sector-driven business. We recommend a law to prevent cattle and other animals roaming widely. We recommend a law to prevent free movement of cattle and herdsmen from West African countries to Nigeria, as this creates immeasurable problem to our country.
We came to the issues of grazing reserves, and one of the things we advocated for the establishment of a ministry for livestock development. That is in consonance with the practice in most countries that have large livestock production. The minister has mentioned that we have 19 million cattle. And 19 million cattle, that makes Nigeria the highest livestock producer country in West Africa. Apart from that, we have more than 60 million sheep and goats and other ruminants. So we advocated that we need a ministry for livestock development. Other countries like in the region, like Niger, Chad, Central African Republic, and many others have ministry for livestock development. That is one of the recommendations of Miyetti Allah. Now, we also mentioned on the issues of stock routes and then transformation of livestock breeding. In the interim, we need the stock routes, and we cannot do away with them. And as we seek to transform livestock production, we should not seek to legislate movements, but we should transform it, and we are in support of the establishment of grazing reserves, and then also the ranches, some of us do have. Now, we are in support of that. We also looked at the issues of migration and displacement due to climate change and violence, like the Honorable Minister had mentioned.
While the National Assembly and the federal government devised plans to address the clashes between herdsmen and farmers, the National Boundary Commission is asking government to also consider some of the agreements which Nigeria is a signatory, such as the ECOWAS Protocol on Free Movement, which guarantees free movement in West Africa.